Go ahead, Rico.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy Rico. Uh, let's get it started. We got everybody on the Google Hangout. We got the co-founders of Bills Fanatics. We got Bobby Ray,
Yo, what's poppin'?
and we got the main man Pierre
What's
Gabbard
going
Jr.,
on? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
AKA the mayor.
the mayor, the mayor of North Virginia. Here we go. Listen, guys, we got a few topics that we want to hit on today. A few things that we noticed on the Facebook page, and we made a few acquisitions today with the Bills. So uh, I'm gonna let Pierre start it off today. Pierre, what you got for us, man?
Man, okay, so I'm going through Facebook and I came across a thread from a very active member in our Bills Fanatics Facebook group, Urban F. David. He brought up the idea of the possibility of bringing in Greg Hardy. And at first glance, it's easy to say, nah. I mean, there's no way we can bring in Greg Hardy. But then if you really look at it, I don't necessarily see it being that bad of an idea. So I said, you know what, fellas, I think it's time for us to make a nice little or a quick little segment talking about Greg Hardy. Man, what y'all think?
What you need to get on Bobby that because Bobby ain't feeling that whatsoever.
No,
He
I'm
don't even
not
want to
feeling that one.
hear it. But you need to tell everybody why you're not feeling it, man.
Oh man. Yeah, I just don't think it's happening. We're just not bringing in Greg Hardy.
Why?
Just not happening. The dude is a nutcase. He's gonna be a nutcase on the sidelines. You know, I still don't think Pagula and Whaley, would bring in a head case like that. You think they would bring in a guy like Greg Hardy to Buffalo? To
I don't.
Buffalo, a blue
Okay,
collar city. This is not
check this
happening.
out though. Check this out though. Nobody thought that Rex Ryan would come to Buffalo, and all of a sudden you got a different type of coach that we don't typically bring in. We bring in all the boring coaches like the Dick Durans and the Wansteads and the Phillips and we've never had like a guy that's got a voice. Like the last guy that had a voice was Marv Levy. Really? Like we've had some fucking awful coaches like Malarkey, uh, like Chan Gailey was like the next best thing I think since we had what's his face, right? I mean, I'm talking about my era, in my era. So we didn't think we'd bring someone like that. So and then we brought in To. We never thought we'd bring in To. So look at Incognito. So you can't be saying that we don't bring in that type of player. The Pagulas wouldn't do that. We took a flyer on
I
To.
mean,
It worked out for us.
Greg Hardy has
Hold on,
issues,
hold on. Wait,
man.
wait, wait. Rico. Keep on going. Keep on going. We took a flyer on who?
I'm just saying, man.
Go ahead.
We took a flyer. We took a flyer on To.
Okay.
We took a flyer on Incognito to bring him in, and we gave him like
That's
a minimum deal and said, "Hey,
listen.
you mess up, you
Oh
out."
my God.
That's
Right?
the name. That's the
Right?
name that I was waiting for you to say. We brought in Richie Incognito, who,
Unbelievable.
yes, he didn't have the past as a or as what Greg Hardy had, but you talking about a media circus. Bringing him in was pretty big. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, I don't understand why we brought in Richie Incognito.
Yep.
Blase blind. What happened?" Come to find out, people couldn't they couldn't wait to re-sign this guy. Oh, we need him. We need him. Listen, this is the way
Here's
I
the
look at it.
right.
I look at it as fans get too involved with the with what happens out or off the field. They're always worrying about, you know, the guy's personality, if he's a bad person, if he's yes. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't condone domestic violence, but I'm one of those fans that only worries about what happens on the field. Can this guy help us win games? Period. I'm not worried about what he does in the community. I'm not worried about none of that, honestly. I'm worried about, can this guy produce on the field and will help us get to where we want to go, and that's win the championship. I know fans talk about, you know, we got to go to the playoffs. No, 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 no. I understand that. Yes, playoffs is a goal, but it's not our main goal. It's always about winning that chip. So I feel that we needed pass rush last year. Greg Hardy is a premier pass rusher. That's all I'm worried about. Can he rush the passer? Not, is he gonna, be beating on women? Even though I don't condone that, but if we're gonna go by um, players' backgrounds in the league, or if we're gonna have a background check, imagine how many players wouldn't have a job right now. I mean, we have players who actually killed people,
and
I
still
like,
and still get to play.
and still get to play, like
And we
Dante
want him to
Stallworth.
coach.
Nah, hold on, nah. Listen, I don't think Ray Lewis. Anyways,
Bring him in.
Yeah, Bobby,
Go ahead.
and get the coach. But all I'm saying is, everyone deserves a second chance. Some people like Richie Incognito got 3, 4, 5, 6 chances. It just happens, man. If you are a premier athlete in this league and has produced, you'll always get the benefit of the doubt.
And that being said, I'm gonna take it up a leave even more. I mean, we even considered bringing in what do you call it? Michael Vick, remember? And you
Yeah,
know how people get sensitive about animals. Like people get as sensitive about animals, animal cruelty, as domestic violence against women, right? So like we were about to cruise it, like we can't bring him in, this and that, the third, blah 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 blah. We considered it. So like, why can't we consider bringing in Greg Hardy? Now here's now forget about all that stuff. Like the one thing I'm going to say is this, right? I even I was even thinking about it. I was going to write something in there. Like too many times and too often in sports. I'm not going to just say NFL. In sports, I think the NFL is it's the biggest mecca of all things in sports. But like too often in sports, you have players' histories deter them from playing and doing what they do on the field. Prime example is my man, the running back from the what do you call? What's his name? What's his
Ray
name, man?
Rice.
Ray Rice, right? Ray Rice put his hands on his wife. Everyone knows that was a no-no, right? Had he been a productive player, maybe, just maybe, he would have got a shot somewhere. But because he was already in decline, nobody gave him a shot anywhere whatsoever. Now, had that not happened, this guy would still be playing right now. But that ruined his career. Like that literally, he's not playing no more. He's done. There's no way anybody's giving him a chance. He's a year. What he's like that thing happened a year ago, 2 years ago. It feels like that way. Anyway, so he's done. It ain't happening. So a guy like Greg Hardy, too often we let these off-field transgressions seep in on the field. Let's just say we forget it. Let's just say he was clean off the field. Will we then consider Greg Hardy on the team? Number one, that's the one thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Number two, does he even fit on our team? That's another thing I was talking about. Like, so what is he, a D? Is he a true D end, or is he like a DeMarcus Ware? Is he like a stand-up guy? I don't even know. Like, I thought he was just a D end. Kind of reminds me of Mark Anderson. I hated that signing. I thought he was a flash in the pan. He had 10 sacks a year before he came to the Bills when he was on the New England Patriots. And Greg Hardy could be the same thing. I don't know. Has it declined? What were his stats when he was in Dallas? That's what I want to look up. I haven't had a chance to see it. I don't know if you guys can. I'll pull it up. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right.
Now,
Let me try to
now,
talk it up.
I don't know. Like, if Bobby wants to go first, real quick.
You can go ahead.
Now, but what I was gonna say though
You can go ahead.
is that if Greg Hardy's head's on straight, he's arguably one of the best pass rushers in the league. I mean, just a couple years ago, he had 17 sacks. So it's not like he doesn't have the skills. He's still young. He's still in his prime. So if his head's on right, and that's probably one of the major questions, because I mean the guy's a weirdo. Like Bobby said, the dude's crazy. But with some players, in order to be great, Some players are just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now, to touch on Rico's point in regards to Ray Rice, you are 100% correct because it just happened. Adrian Peterson
Boom.
beat his kid.
Yep.
Some people, it kind of went 50-50 because there's people who still beat their kids, but they're not at the high profile, state as Adrian Peterson. But a prime example, if Adrian Peterson was a Ray Rice where he had a, declining season, they would have just said, you know what, Adrian Peterson, you're not worth the headache. But because he's Adrian Peterson, who is, in my opinion, the best running back in the league still at age, 30, 31, he was welcomed back with open arms. Like the Vikings organization, I don't care what anyone says. The Viking organization did not want to suspend this guy. They're
Of
like,
course not.
man, we have to because of the
Yeah.
public perception.
Not only that, he's your franchise guy.
Exactly. He's your best player. So,
right?
So to answer Rico's question, yes, if Ray Rice was on the level as an Adrian Peterson, he would have been brought back.
Yo, let me stop y'all real quick. Y'all sound absolutely fucking crazy. How'd you switch from Greg Hardy? Now you're talking about running backs.
Nah, yo, you listen, you're tripping. We're not talking about running backs. We're talking about people that do off-field shit and it ruins their careers. And right now, Greg Hardy
And that's what happened.
That's the thing. And Greg Hardy right now is on the verge of like either he's gonna play or he's done. Or his career's done.
You see, the only reason why Greg Hardy is not playing right now is because of his off-field. It's not because of his on-field, because the dude's an absolute monster. Even last year with the
Cowboys.
If you don't mind pulling up the stats real quick, Rico.
Yes, sir.
I believe in 10 games, he still had 6 or 7 sacks. So he's still able to produce. And like I said, in the locker room, he's a bit weird. So that might be the only...
It's not he's a bit weird. Forget about it. It's not he's a bit weird. The guy's a dick.
Well, yeah,
he's a straight up dick. So the question is this. Go ahead. I was gonna say this. The question is this: do you want to bring? Forget about the off-field stuff. Do you want to bring this clown on your team, and that's gonna mess up a nice nucleus that we have right now?
You do not.
That's the only issue that I may have. But come on, man. We're all adults here, man. The people in those locker rooms are all adults. You trying to tell me you're going to have this guy punk you? Come on, man. Just listen. The guy got talent. Sign him.
Nah. And okay. I'm gonna give you two. I'll give you to another way.
If he acts up, you cut him.
I'm gonna give it to you another way. Check this out. Let's just say you have a couple players on your squad right now that have experienced domestic violence in their lifetime. Let's just say my father used to put hands on my mother. I never respected a man for that, and I can't be around people that do that. So let's just say you got 2 or 3 guys that are like that on your squad. Then management brings in a Greg Hardy that, I mean, in public face seems he doesn't seem remorseful whatsoever. Doesn't care. Just doing what he's got to do. So now you have this guy in your team, and you looking at him, you're like, man, I can't stand this dude. And why you got to put him on next to me and this and that? That's gonna create some problems in the locker room. So that myself, like right, just to that second, I would say it's not even worth it to bring a type of guy like that onto my team. If you're a struggling team and you need some spark, and I don't know, like who's the most boring team in the league? Who would you say that needs to stand out and make something happen? Who's that?
The Dolphins, man. The Dolphins boring to me. The Jets boring to me. The Browns boring to me.
Whatever, man. Bring him to the Rams, right? Let's just say we bring him to the Rams. Like, okay, you can kind of like he's. I mean, that's in LA, so that's a different story. But let's just say the Rams are still in St. Louis. Go to the Rams, like a little small market team. Maybe that works. But like a team like Buffalo, even though we're like a small market, dude, that's a beloved team, man. All over the place. People love that team. And you bring a Greg Hardy, that's gonna ruin everything, man. So I would say hell to the no. We'll bring Greg Hardy. I don't care how good he is, but that guy he's too much of a mess to bring onto the team. Man, you got a chance to play in Dallas, and you still couldn't kind of keep. Like, come on, man. Jerry Jones brought your ass in, and you off a team. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut and get sacks. That's it. And you still couldn't even do that. So you meant to tell
Now,
me you want to bring him in? Nah, I'll pass.
so what you're saying is this: you're saying because of his history,
Yep.
you'll never bring him in.
Not just because it's not because of the domestic issue. It's about
Well,
his
no,
personality.
yeah,
It's his
him as a whole.
personality. Yeah, him as a whole, as a character, as an individual.
Okay.
Nah.
And my question to you: Who's a bigger asshole, or who is the bigger perceived asshole? Him or Richie Incognito, who was accused of being or having the worst locker room presence, and he was brought in. He's a changed man all of a sudden, and
You,
now everyone loves the Richie Incognito.
hold on. You have to keep in mind though. You have to keep in mind though. And Bobby, I know Bobby's all over the internet, kind of reading these things, so you could probably test this. But like, you have to realize that when he was going through that nonsense with that individual David Martin, I think, and we almost drafted that fool too, just so you guys know. Anyway, when he was going through that, there were people that were vouching for Incognito, saying, "Yo, those two guys went at it all the time." I'm like, I don't know where all this like bad press is going to Richie. That guy's a good dude, man. I like Richie. Like, we all clowned that way. So what's his face just got a little too sensitive when Richie
Right.
probably went hard at him, and that's why he got such a bad rep. But even, I mean, yeah, he was kind of a dick sometimes. Like, he was like a mauler and like, but you need that nastiness on the field. Who doesn't want a little nasty in your right guard and your left guard? So like, that's the way I look at it personally. So you can't really compare a Richie to a Greg Hardy. That's just a straight clown. But Bobby knows what I'm saying. He knows what I'm saying.
You damn right.
Oh, you guys in the locker room now? You guys in the locker room? You guys know?
It's not
You
even
guys
that.
know what he
It's
said?
yo, put your head on your shoulders, man, and really think about it.
What
You
number
Like,
y'all got? What number y'all got?
you gonna compare bullying a grown ass man
Yeah.
to domestic violence? You
No,
wildin'.
no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
So you can't
I'm
compare it.
listen to me. What I'm saying is, I'm comparing how Greg Hardy is in the locker room to what Richie's in the locker room, because what Rico just pointed out is that it's not that he won't bring in Greg Hardy because of what he did off the field. He said he won't bring him in because of how he'll act or how he'll be perceived in the locker room. That's why I brought up Richie, because how he was perceived in the locker room was, like you guys said, 50-50. But there were still players in there that was like, Richie was going too hard, Richie was wrong, blah, blah, blah. But still, in my opinion, it still comes down to one thing: worrying about stuff that doesn't happen on the field. On the field, Greg Hardy was still a beast. Now, if people want to get too sensitive about what happens in the locker room or off the field, I mean, that's a you problem. My thing is, I'm all about production on the field helping us win games, because I'm gonna tell you this: let's say we go 16-0, right? And Greg Hardy was a problem the entire season, a problem, but we still won the bowl. I guarantee you there'll be fans that won't give two types of shits about how the hell he was. Yes or no? So it always boils down to production and winning games, period. Now, if you guys are saying that his distraction may prevent us from winning, and that's a whole different topic, and that's something that I may consider. But if it's about people's feelings, come on, man. You got to man up, big boy.
Now you think adding Greg Hardy will put the Bills over the top to reach the playoffs? Is that what you're
I'm not
saying?
saying that he'll put us over the top, but what I am saying is that he'll help us climb that mountain.
Now, okay. Now let's say he didn't have an issue, whatever. We bring him in. Now, what is he gonna play? He's gonna play outside linebacker?
That was gonna
No,
be my next question.
I
Where are you
think
gonna
he'll
put him?
play. He'll rotate. He'll rotate at the end. He'll rotate.
Rotate.
Yeah, he'll rotate with either Kyle or whoever plays the other DN spot, whether if it's Darius or whoever they got playing DN.
So you really would bring him in?
I would. I would. Honestly, I would.
This
Yeah.
guy's
I would.
bugging.
But at the same time, I'll bring him in with stipulations. If you act up, the same thing with Chantrell. And I'm pretty sure it was the same thing with Richie. I'll bring you in. If you act up, you're gone. Period. Simple. You come and make your money and go home. If not, you ain't making no more money. I mean, Tariq, I think that Greg Hardy knows he only has one more chance. That's
Check
it.
this out.
And as of right now, it doesn't even seem like he even has another chance. But I'm pretty sure if he feels that this is his last chance, exactly like how Richie felt, I'm pretty sure he'll come in and, like a T.O., for example, when everyone knew, T.O., you got one more chance to act stupid, and since then, he's been straight. So that's all I'm saying.
All right, check this out. I want you to, because I think you'll appreciate this. Pierre, you got children, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you tell your little guy, hey man, Daddy said, don't do this, because the next time you do it, you're not going to be able to play PlayStation, or you're going to get a little spank on your butt, or whatever. Okay. So guess what? Your little guy is going to say, shoot, I need to behave, because if I want that I don't know, that cookie that Dad said I could have, I got to behave. But guess what? Once he gets that cookie, who knows how he's going to act, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So check this
Right.
out. What happens to players when they're in contract years or they're in 1-year deals? They ball out and they keep their mouth shut. Typically.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So my question to you is, since you want to bring him on, what do you do with him? Let's just say we do bring him on. He gets you 12 sacks, right?
Okay.
So now you
Okay.
got a decision to make. Do we let
Okay.
him walk after a 12-sack year, or do we sign him for a long-term deal? And I say long-term deal, I'm talking about like maybe a 2-3 year.
I mean,
What do you do?
depends.
What do you do?
It still depends.
On what?
I mean, on his behavior. If
He's
he
gonna
has a
behave.
issue,
Listen, he's gonna behave the year that you gave him. He will behave.
all right. And then you take that chance, man.
Okay, but that's not my question though. My question is, what do you do after?
That's what I'm saying. You take that chance, and if you feel that he is a piece that's going to help you, go to the playoffs and win the bowl, you pay the man. You pay the man. I mean, of course, you can have some stipulations in his contract if him and his agent agrees to that. But you pay him, man. You can't be afraid about what might happen, man. That's the whole thing about this whole debate we've been having about the wide receivers and all the other crap. It's not about being scared about what if something might happen. It's about if he produces, you got to pay him. If he doesn't produce, you got to cut him. It's real simple. To me, I don't worry about off-field craziness. I don't, man, because if fans start worrying about that, you won't have nobody on the roster. Sammy Watkins sitting here and called everybody broke. Y'all some broke fans, and y'all gonna always be broke. And what happened? There was a whole outrage about Sammy Watkins doesn't care about his fans and blah blah blah. What happened? He scored that. He scored one touchdown, and what happened? Everybody was on their knees, loving Sammy Watkins.
This guy.
Come on, man. It's about production, man.
Different, man.
Look, I guarantee you, Rico, if we sign Greg Hardy right now, and he had a 12-sack season, I guarantee you every fan who hated him is going to say, we need this dude back. Yes or no?
Listen, I get what you're saying.
The same like Richie Incognito. He was brought in. What happened? The majority of people said, we don't need Richie Incognito. He's a head case, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Everybody wanted him back. Everybody forgot about his past. They said, why? Because he produced, man. It's simple to me. It's simple to me.
So how do you explain Dallas?
I mean, hey, Dallas didn't want to pay him, $10 million. Or no, as a matter of fact, he had a 1-year deal anyways. They just said, you know what?
You're not worth the headache.
Okay, but maybe, yes, he was a headache. He was a headache, and they could
It
have
wasn't
easily
even that,
cut
man.
him.
Yo, the dude was just showing up late. The dude was just being a dickhead on the sidelines. The guy was just being a straight up clown.
Okay, fine. I'm
So
gonna give you one shot. If you act up, you're gone. I mean, to me, it's like me. It's it's more of a no-brainer to me than it is to most people. If you act up, you're cut. It's real simple to me.
hey, you know what? I'm not hating on that. I'm not gonna hate on that because I mean a lot of guys they get that one chance or that second chance or whatever you want to call it,
Now,
and it's
I
really up to them.
understand. I understand people are gonna call me sensitive or say that I'm not as sensitive or I condone, domestic violence. It has nothing to do with that. Of course, I don't condone domestic violence. I'm strictly talking about football, and that's all I'm talking about. So,
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Well,
But I mean, it's not always just about football, my man. It's that
I
dang
think so.
shield. President Goodell.
I don't get paid by the Shield, man. I don't even
Hey,
get paid to be a fan, to be honest with you.
hey, but the shield controls it all, man. They always say you put that shield first. So you disrespect that shield, you as good as gone. Ray Rice, straight up and down. There's your thing. So check this out. I'm gonna leave that topic at there, right there. We brought in someone today. In Dre Archer, former Steelers player, then got signed real quick to the Jets. I personally don't want to hear anybody say, "Man, why is Rex Ryan always signing Jets players?" Shut up. Everybody's an ex-player somewhere, man. It just happens that he came from the Jets. Anyway, how y'all feel about Dre Archer? And they listed him as a running back. I thought he was a receiver.
yeah. Um, Let me tell you something. I mean, obviously, you really don't know what he's gonna be doing or how he's gonna be in the Roman system. But if he is just brought here for punt return, kick return, I mean, he's gonna come in here and challenge for a spot in camp, right?
Challenge who?
Probably Walter Powell. Walter Powell. I mean,
Uh,
you guys,
this guy keeps on
Rico
bringing
laughs at him, but he
Wow,
was he was signed to a 3-year deal
man.
for a reason.
3 years.
He
Walter.
got a 3-year contract.
Word, huh? Okay.
Um, Now,
Gee,
I mean, I'm gonna bring it back to last year. What did we do? We kept Goodwin, somebody that was quick. The fast guy. It looked like he was developing into a nice receiver. But what's the knock on him? He gets injured. Same with Dre Archer. The dude is injury prone. And what happened? We wasted a roster spot on Goodwin when we could have kept a wide receiver, that was balling in the preseason like freak show for
Yeah.
Deontay Thompson. And what did we need this year now? A receiver. I just hope that doesn't happen again.
We there was
Waste
two
waste
dudes.
the roster spot.
We had Deontay Thompson and that other dude I was balling out as well.
Andre Davis.
Andre Davis, man. We had those two guys who were killing it and it surprised the hell out of me that when we let them go. I was like, come on, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, you got to realize that we're not a team that is supposed to keep that many receivers that are going to touch the field. Now, I really do hope my man Greg Roman finds a way to tweak that scheme he's got going and open up the pass more. Um, kind of like what do you call what's his face opening up for his girl on his world tour. What was that his name? What's his name again? Meek Mill. Open up, man. You got to open up. So that's what we need Greg Roman to do because I mean, if we're gonna have these receivers like Pierre says, if he thinks if he's gonna have 7 fucking receivers on the team, uh, then we better open up the damn pass more because when Sammy says give me the damn ball and throw me the damn ball, we got to do it early because that guy waited way too long into the season last year to say, yo, throw me the ball and I'll catch it. Start that shit off right from the jump, and I think we should be all right. But bringing in a Dre Archer uh, at tailback, I mean, obviously he's not going to touch the field at tailback, so he's probably really there for special team purposes. then
Yeah.
I mean I ain't got no problems with that. I have no problems with that. But that means we just got to get rid of someone. It reminds me of a little like he's like a little Tavon Austin, really, if you think about it. Like a little Tavon Austin, put him on the field, let him razzle dazzle, and get us some field position. Because that right there, man, if we have a guy that can get us some field position, dude, we're solid, man. Like we really are. So we
I
need
mean,
someone that can give us a spark.
honestly, man, I'm not sure what the Bills are doing with this signing. I mean, I know of him. Uh, for those who don't know, he ran a he ran the I believe it was the second fastest time in the 40 at the combine at a 4.26. So as far as speed, the guy's a blazer. But just like Bobby said, he's another Marquise Goodwin. I mean, the guy just can't stay healthy.
Yo, you know what though? I like Marquise Goodwin, man. I,
I
I
like
actually
him
do.
too.
I
I
actually
like
do
him
like
too.
Marquise Goodwin, and people are gonna be like, "Yo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?" Like, think about it though. When he was a rookie, this guy played well as a rookie, man. He stayed on the field,
No, he didn't.
and what are you talking about? This guy he had his best year with us when he was a rookie.
Hell no.
Pull up his stats, man. Pull up his stats.
What do you
What
guys?
do
Did
you
you guys
have?
did you guys
One
forget?
touchdown?
Listen, Rico. All Marquise did his rookie season was week 1 of preseason. That's it. When
Nah,
he
man.
ran back, that kick for a touchdown against the Colts, that's the only highlight he had. He had a
You got
couple catches here and there.
you guys
He had the
forgot.
one catch.
All
He
right.
had the one catch when in the Lions game when Orton threw that bomb against the Lions. But I mean, the guy's been injured every season he's played, man. I mean,
He had
Yeah, yes, he
17
has, but
receptions for 283 yards, 3
the first
touchdowns.
the first year, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Like it wasn't like
I mean,
he
I'm
was
sorry. Say it again.
garbage.
Say it again, Bobby.
oh,
So
there
check
it
this out.
is.
2013. So yeah, 17 receptions, 283, 60.6, 23
God,
yards.
that man was balling that year, huh? He was
I'm not saying he
balling,
was. Listen, I'm not saying he was.
Balling.
balling.
I'm not saying he was balling, but like that's
One
contribution, man. Three
fumble.
touchdowns,
Okay.
5 receptions of over 20, 3 receptions of over 40. Come on, man. It wasn't like he was garbage, but then look, the production dipped because of his injuries. So his first year he was straight. It's just that just unlucky,
Look at the
unlucky.
games he missed. My God.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
now, now, to add on to Rico's point, though, I am a fan of Goodwin myself. I mean, if the guy can stay healthy, I was never a fan of how the Bills used a Marquise Goodwin.
I
I'm not a
agree.
fan of. I'm not a fan of the whole, because you're fast, you throw bombs all day to him. I mean, there's ways to use him in the screen game and the bubble screens and the reverses or however you're going to use that. But there's different ways to use speed. Like it's not all about streaks and stuff
And
like that.
How much did Gruden weigh? Because this brother's 5'8", a buck 70. Oof.
I mean, Goodwin's probably around the same, honestly, if I'm not
Is
mistaken. I mean,
is
he may
Goodwin
be
6 feet? He's
I
not 6 feet, huh?
I doubt
He's like
that.
5'9".
Yeah.
5.
5'9". He's a 5'9", a buck 79. So no different
Yeah,
really.
so it's really the same thing. I mean, honestly, man, if these two dudes make the team, because I think if you're bringing in Dre, either him or Goodwin are making the team. I don't think they're both making the team because they're both pretty much gadget players. But if one of them makes the team and can stay healthy all 16 games and actually make a difference, or if Roman can actually use these guys correctly, I think they can do damage, man. I mean,
Okay.
You
I
you
can give them.
mentioned you mentioned what do you call Greg Roman, and I'm gonna bring this back to I was watching NFL Network the other day. I think it was last week or something like that. And what's his name? That fullback, Heath Evans. Heath Evans last year went on a whim, and I used to hate on this dude, and I kind of still do a little bit. But Heath Evans he went on a whim and said that the Bills are gonna go 12-4, book it. They're going to the playoffs, right? And then we just dropped the ball. Let's just keep it simple. We dropped the ball. Then he said something that I completely agree with. He said this team has got potential to be. He's like, and even he admitted it. He's like, I went on a whim. I said we were going 12-4. They didn't do it. But like the reason for it is Greg Roman. You got to change the way you call your games because you were inconsistent, and there's play calls where you had me scratching my head, and he's completely right because you have game plans that were perfect, and then he throw in some bullshit where you're like, what was that? You just messed up the momentum we had. So like, if we are going to go far into December, I'm not going to say playoffs yet, but if we're going to go deep into December and play meaningful ball, that part of our team needs to improve because Greg Roman's his play calls are sometimes on the money and then is way left field. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Yo, Rico, man, I mean, I was good with everything you were saying. I was believing it, man. Like, I was really sitting here, shaking my head, saying, yes, Rico, keep on talking, until you said, I'm not trying to say playoffs yet. Listen, it's 16 years, big homie. We got to make these playoffs, man. You know what I'm saying? If Roman ain't doing what he got to do in order to get us to the playoffs, then it's pointless. That's where I'm at, dog. We got to make these playoffs, man.
And you know what? I don't really trust Roman, to be very honest with you. And you're probably gonna be, what the hell are you talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about, man. This guy's been looking for a head coaching job for a minute, ever since he left San Fran, right? He was close to getting a head coaching job a couple years back, or 2 or 3 years back. But
Now, last year.
Was it last year? Yeah, he was a candidate. He was a candidate. Sorry, he was a candidate for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
With us and a few other people, right? So I said to myself, I'm like, this brother is, if we have a solid year and we make playoffs, he's going to get poached somewhere else, and we're going to start all over again. But he didn't. He had a shitty-ass year. We didn't produce the way we needed to. So I still don't trust him because if he has a balling-out year this year, they're going to come calling again. And then we're going to be back. We're going to be back to square one and looking for someone to what do you call, touch base on I guess with Tyron and develop this and develop that and so on and so forth. Like, what are we going to bring up somebody like I'm just going to make an example here, Sanjay Lal as our OC because he's familiar with the offense. Are we really going to do that? So there's something about Greg Roman that I don't trust, man. I know we're jumping all over topics here, but like I really had to jump on that. I really had to jump on that because this dude, I just can't. I don't see him sticking around even if he has a balling out year.
What do you got to say about that, Bobby?
I mean, that Greg Roman could be the next head coach of the Bills.
Oh my God.
Rex Ryan fuck around this year. We'll see what happens.
I'm right there with Bobby, honestly. I mean, I look at Greg Roman as a Bruce Arian. And this is why I brought up Bruce Arian. Because for the longest, Bruce Arian was always looked over because of he's not a PC guy. He's not going to sit there and give the owners what they want to hear. He's going to be him. And if you watch any Greg Roman interview, you can tell the guy's a little crazy, man. He doesn't care what questions are asked. He's going to give you the answer he wants to give you. It's just, he is who he is. Now, as far as his offense, the only part of his offense that I have a problem with is, even going back to San Francisco, I think that he relies way too much on his expertise running the football. And don't get me wrong, he's been ranked in the top 5, I believe I want to say top 5, every year that he's, called a game in the running game. But in the passing game, he's always been ranked in the bottom half of the league. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like there's going to be games where we just can't run the ball, or the defense is, giving up a lot of points where we may need to, figure out ways to pass the ball. And because how I think he makes the passing game look so bland, like it's not really, something that I feel, puts fear in defenses. I kind of like how you're posting it up on the Facebook group while we're going. That's pretty sweet. But
keep focused, man. Focus. I know. I can hear you that you're not focusing.
Greg Roman trustworthy, but I mean, I'm right there with you. Like, it's one of those things where I'm just sitting there like, I just don't know. I mean, like, I wanna feel it, man. I want to say, yo, Roman is the guy who can move this offense. Now, if you look at last year, I believe we ranked eighth in the league in points per game. I want to say, but I mean, I bring it up on almost every show or every chance I can. I always bring up the fact that we were either first or second when it comes to 3-and-outs, man. That's huge, man. Now, I'm not going to put that all on Greg Roman.
That 3-and-out stat is deceiving. Who was it? Was it you that was talking about the 3-and-outs? Like
It's
everyone
always
brings
me.
it up.
I'm always bringing that thing up.
But here's the thing: we were not the worst team in 3-and-outs. There was somebody worse than us.
Nah, man, we were
Nah,
we
man,
were
look up
either
the
the
stats. I'm
worst.
telling you.
We were either the worst or second to worst team in 3-and-outs. And 3-and-out percentage. So I'm just saying, man. I mean, now, like I said, I'm not putting that all on Greg Roman because, of course, the players I mean, the coaches call the plays and the players are supposed to execute those plays. But it's still one of those things where I'm sitting here like, man, yes, we're gonna be towards the top of the league when it comes on to running the ball, but next year is Tyrod Taylor's year, man. Like, it's the year of Tyrod Taylor. We need to know if he's capable because, just like you said, Greg Roman may be gone and we'll still have a Tyrod Taylor. So is he a quarterback? It's what a lot of fans and a lot of executives and a lot of media members and everybody is asking. Is this guy a quarterback worth $20 million?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? The only way to find that out is for Greg Roman to just say, you know what, Tyrod, I'm going to take off the handcuffs. I'm going to have a week 17, but I'm going to have a week 17 on steroids and allow you to go out there and just do you. Give you the keys to the car and allow you to drive it, man.
Yo, what? I don't watch. I don't know if you guys watch hockey, but like, is Pagula? Is he? I don't really know much about him, but is Pagula known as a good owner for the Sabres? Like the Sabres, I mean, I'm from Canada, right? So like we have our like I'm from Ottawa, so like we have our Ottawa Senators, right? And we know a little bit about. I mean, obviously Canada's the mecca for hockey and stuff, but we don't. I don't really hear much about Buffalo for like the Sabres as the Sabres. I know they just drafted a. I'm not even trying to make it into a hockey talk, but I'm just more talking about Pagula. Is he known as a good owner? I think is he that dude? You guys are from that. You guys know Buffalo, right? I mean, you
Bobby
tell
probably
me.
know more than me. He's a fan of the team.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
you you
mean,
you a Sabres fan?
yeah, but I mean, I haven't lived in Buffalo for probably 15 years.
Oh, okay. So like, what's the deal with the
The
Pagulas?
Pagulas they haven't owned the team for that long, have they? Hasn't it been like 3 or 4 years, I believe?
Oh, okay. So they're new owners.
I'm really not sure. Really not sure.
It is what it is. I wanted to just put that out there because I wasn't sure. But I put that poll out. Is Greg Roman trust? I just thought of it because like on the back of my mind, this like any coach can be poached for head coaching purposes. Like laterally moving, from what I understand, you can't just move from OC to OC if you're under contract, but it's because you need to be upgraded. So from OC to head coach, you can just leave on a whim if somebody poaches you. So uh, I truly believe this guy's waiting for his opportunity to be a head coach, and he came to Buffalo as a stepping stone to. I mean, that's what all play. I guess that's what all coaches do, right? They're there as a stepping stone so they can get the head coaching job. I'm assuming that that's what everybody wants to do when they come to the NFL. It's for them to be a head coach and win Super Bowls at the end of the day. So I'm actually curious to see how people feel about Greg Roman. And my reason behind asking that question is he going to dip if we have a successful year? And does that throw our team into uh, does it kill our team when the OC leaves, especially with a up and coming quarterback in Tyrod and Sammy Watkins? I mean, we got some pieces on this team, man.
I
So like,
mean, uh,
I'm just putting it out there.
yeah, no, it's a pretty good question. Honestly, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, just taking my fan card off away real quick, I would actually, hate if he didn't. you don't get a coaching job. You know what I mean? Because I think he deserves it, man. For what he did in San Francisco, taking the team to 3 straight NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl, and for us to go from the 26th ranked rushing attack to the very next year be the #1. I mean, the dude has proved himself, in my opinion. Everyone's calling this man an offensive genius. Now, like I said, can he, move some of that, rushing success to the passing game? I mean, that's still questionable. But honestly, I mean, if I were him, I'll have to dip out. Now, how that would affect the team, it really depends. Because, like, if Tyrod is who people hope and believe that he can be, it wouldn't really affect it too much. Now, of course, you wouldn't want to have to change the entire system. So it would be good to have, maybe somebody who knows a little bit of what, Greg Roman is doing, to replace a Greg Roman. But
But
knowing, but real quick, knowing Rex Ryan, he has bad luck hiring offensive coordinators, man. So
this is his best hire as an offensive coordinator. But check this out. I'm
hands
gonna tell
down.
you something. What do you call it? Tony Santos? Shout out to Tony Santos. On the Is Greg Roman trustworthy poll that we just did it. He says, "Hey man, I don't know. It's too early to tell." I remember this too. He doesn't like to comment at the end of last season that no one called him about a head coaching job. You remember how salty he was? Roman was. He's like, "Yo, I ain't got no calls,
I
man.
don't know. Nah,
Nobody. Yeah, I mean, hold on.
I
He's
don't
out.
agree with that.
I agree with that. Check this out. So he's like, so I think if it's on the back of his mind, he might be gone.
He wasn't
If
salty.
someone does, but Tony Santos says, but I do believe he'll have our best interest as our OC. Julian Rogers, shout out to Julian Rogers. He says, well, if there's a good year, he might get a shot as head coach, depending on vacancies, of course. If he replaces Rex, that means it wasn't a good year, which is straight up truth. Either way, I don't know any coach in their right mind who would stick around if a promotion came along, and that's exactly what I'm saying, man. So if he does leave, does it put us in a position that of weakness? I guess that's the question I'm asking, because then we're now searching for a new head coach. Are we promoting from within? Who are we promoting? How many guys did Greg Roman bring with him, or has he been teaching these guys his offensive scheme the last couple of years? That's the legitimate question that you want to ask.
I mean, I'll let Bobby answer, but just real quick, he wasn't salty about, you know,
Man, yes, he was salty,
I
man.
heard the interview. The interview was with this John Murphy, and John Murphy just asked him a question like, "Yo, do you want to be a head coach?" And he was like, "Yeah." I mean, he was kind of surprised. All he said was, "I
I'm
mean, I was just
surprised nobody
surprised
called me.
that because of what happened last year. Last year he got like five or six calls, and this year he got 0. That's all he was saying. He wasn't like, man, I didn't get no calls. I'm mad. He was just answering the question, man. Like, I don't know, but go ahead, Bobby.
I mean, I think it's a given that if somebody calls, he'll leave.
Straight up. So
Definitely.
so that's the thing, right? So if he leaves, who takes over? And I don't know in depth our coaching staff and who could actually just jump right in, because you need that guy that can jump right in, right? Now if Rob Ryan was an offensive coach, then that'd be something else. But that's another topic. So, but yeah, even Mike Dell Jr. just chimed in. Shout out to Mike. He says, why not, man? He took San Fran to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Our offense improved the past year, so I would say he's doing a great job. And that's not really the question. We know he's legit. Like, he's got some inconsistent calls sometimes, but like for the most part, he's a damn good OC and he's a smart cat. It's just that we may have to start all over if he does leave, and that
I mean,
kind of scares me.
honestly, the person to replace him, it's kind of hard to pinpoint a person. You can try to narrow down offensive philosophies. So, of course, you would probably want to bring in someone who, can relate with what Tyrod is good at. I mean, like, we can't get a guy who just ignores the fact that Tyrod has legs. So,
Yeah.
a pass happy coordinator may not be the best option, even though I'm I'm over here saying that Greg Roman should be more pass happy, but so that's something to think about. Now, do I trust Rex Ryan to make a good decision? Yeah, I don't know, but I mean that's a good question that hopefully we don't have to answer, but you never know, man.
Yo, I'm not about to let this slide, and you know me. Yo, Pierre, you got roasted on the last show we had. You are Mr. Negative, Mr. like bad cop. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what do you got to say for yourself, homie?
Yo, man, I love being the bad cop sometimes. See, that's one thing about me is that I enjoy everyone's opinion, but I'm not going to be afraid to speak because the thing is, look, people love to say things because it sounds good. And especially on social media, people feel like they have, they get some bull eyes, man. They feel like, man, because I'm behind the screen, I can go and say whatever I want. No, which is fine. You can say whatever you want, and it's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying, I don't like saying things because they sound good. I'm gonna say things that I feel is right, man. And now, if I feel confident about something, it may rub some people the wrong way. Hey, I'm not going to apologize for it. It is what it is. I'm not, disrespecting you as a person. I'm just, stating my opinion. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm gonna
And,
still
and,
love you
and
because
I and I'm gonna segue off of that because you posted something about Ray Lewis being a potential coach for the Bills. First of all, I woke up to this and I was like, "What the heck? Ray Lewis coming to Buffalo all of a sudden?"
But real
And I'm
quick,
like,
real quick, I want to give a shout out to the person who actually wrote that article. One of our newest writers, Richard. He's he's doing a bang up job for our blog team on BillsFanaticsBF.com. But yeah, he wrote that article, and I mean, it was nice, man.
"Yo," and it's getting love because people I mean, thing is, like, think about it. When we brought in, remember the big hoopla about Ed Reed being our coach, but like we knew somebody was coming to Buffalo, and shout out to Bills Fanatics because we broke that first. Just gonna put that out there. We knew he was coming, but like before that, it was we kind of wanted to speculate and be like, yo, who could it be? A Hall of Fame dude? Could it be Ray Lewis? And I remember posting something that potentially indicated that it was Ray Lewis, and there was a fan frenzy um, of like, "Yo, Ray Lewis is coming to Buffalo." Da da da. So, would it be a good idea to have Ray on our
Oh
team?
man,
I like it
Bobby, go
personally.
ahead, man. Bobby, go ahead, because I'm about to bang. I'm about to be the bad guy once again. But go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, what is it gonna hurt to bring Ray Lewis in? I don't see why not.
I mean, honestly, man, it goes back to Greg Hardy, Rico. I'm gonna, circle it back to our first topic. You know why? Because in that same thread about Ray Lewis, half of the thread was about what?
I didn't even know. I didn't even read up on it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about, oh, this guy's a murderer. This
Oh my
guy did all
God.
this type of stuff. No, seriously, that was inside the thread, and it goes back to Greg Hardy because I'm always saying that fans are always worried about stuff that happens off the field. Like he was never convicted, and hey, listen, OJ didn't do it either.
This
He
guy.
was found not guilty, so leave it alone. It didn't
Oh
happen.
man.
It is what it is, man. Like fans are so worried about a person's personal. Ray Lewis is a master motivator. Rex Ryan had a hard time doing what? Getting his team focused and motivated game to game. So in
I
my opinion, it's common sense. Bring in Ray Lewis, bring in Ed Reed. Listen, bring in the whole, Ravens coaching staff. Everybody, bring all the
as
players.
as long as we win, right?
As long as we win it. You know what, Rico? You starting to get me a little more now.
Shut your black ass up, yo. Nathan DeBucky, I think I said his name right. He says regarding the can we trust Greg Roman? I think we got better on offense because we had more talent last year. I'm still not sold on Greg Roman. I need to see more from him too. Khalid Kafi uh, mentions I mean, if he gets an offer elsewhere, that means he did something right for us. So
Exactly.
can't be mad. As it stands today, he's the only Bills coach whose unit on offense has shown an improvement. I wouldn't be surprised if he replaces Rex. Shit, Bobby,
Hey,
they
there we
following
go.
your trend, homie.
I mean,
They
I was a
follow.
big fan of the Chan Gailey offense, a huge fan, as a matter of fact. But he's right. I mean, he's been uh, an offensive coordinator who has had some success with this team. So,
No, I like that, man. I like that for real. So, yo, look, check this out, though, man. I think we hit on quite a bit of topics this evening. So, I'm actually happy how this went down. How do you guys feel about it?
man, you know me, man. I love to talk about these Buffalo Bills, man. I can
Hey,
talk all day, all night.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother. Listen, man, we're gonna break it down right now. I think we had enough topics for people to touch on, and we can and see what the fans feel about it. And you guys can we'll actually post a link to where you guys can see this. I think it goes right to YouTube. So check out our YouTube page. And shout out
Yeah,
to
we'll post the link. We'll
so
post
yeah,
the
yeah,
link all
no doubt about it. And shout out to the Bills Fanatics Instagram page. Shit is fire, as always. Um, I
over.
mean,
Bobby
that's what it
B.
is, man. Bobby the man on these streets.
We got to
No,
get that 20K, man.
no doubt about it, man. So you guys go ahead and hit up the Facebook page, Bills Fanatics Facebook page. Shout out to the Twitter page. Shout out to the IG. Yo, we all over the place. Shout out our website. Yo, if you guys are missing the stuff, you guys don't really like to do the Facebook thing, because I mean, too much. It's just too much. You just want to get the news. Check out the Bills fan page or go to the website. We got blogs, articles, you name it, we got it. It's the one-stop shop, son.
Yes,
So,
sir.
signing out. This is your boy Rico.
You already know it, man. Pierre, right here. Always appreciate the love, fellas.
Yes, and Bobby B. Yo, shout out to Eric Stryker. Put some respect on them wings, boy.
Come on, man. All
Yo,
right, man.
Head in the game. Don't you ever disrespect them wings, boy.
Man, listen. You stupid, man.
First cut.